Why do men always say the thing that they find to be attractive, right? The things that they like in other men, or the things that they make you an outstanding man, an outstanding man, or whatever. They they talk about those things as if women value those same things constantly. It's really funny to me. It doesn't matter how many times women say, "Yeah, we don't care about that," or "I mean, that's cool, but that's not the most important thing. We like X, Y, and Z." Men will always find a way to be like, you guys like 6 foot, 6 feet, all that shit is hilarious.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
By what standard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but if you ask me a direct question, I can answer it anecdotally. I'm 6'4", only about what, 8% of the entire world.
He said, "You ask a man a direct question, I can answer it anecdotally." Why would that give you like what? I don't understand. Why would that justify you answering the question anecdotally? She asked you a direct question. Answer it. I mean, this question you can pretty much only answer anecdotally for the most part, but I don't know. That was just stupid. This dude's always been a nut.
World is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. Only about, I mean, there's niggas, and I mean, if you think about it on a world level, I'm in the top 1%. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math. Go to.
The funny thing is I don't think I'm an elite. I don't think I'm an elite nigga, right? But the things he just said, those things would apply to me too. But like, I don't think about myself like that in that way. I've never thought that those things made me elite, or you know what I mean? Like being tall and making a certain amount of money, I've never thought made me an elite man. You know what I mean? Like, and even as a man, even with all the misogyny and all of that stuff, like I never put those connected those dots. You know what I mean? I've always felt like, like there's more to me than that. You know what I mean? But like, very insecure men tend to put a lot of stock in these things.
Attracted to? No, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math. Go to you.
What is your math saying? Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation alone makes him not ideal or your type, right?
Now, real quick, I'm sorry, y'all. Real quick. This is what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying about men, how men are so hypocritical. So, when when Kayla, what's his name? Travis Kelce's ex said what she said about not going 50-50 with a man, right? And she said, do I look like a woman that goes 50-50, right? She said it to Angel. She didn't say it to him. She didn't say it to, she didn't say it to what's his name? To Travis Kelce. She didn't say it to May. She didn't say it to Cam. She said it to Angel Reese. She was just basically dispelling the lies. Like, wow, people are saying that she was defending Travis by saying but also y'all saying Travis is cheap. You're basically saying like I'm a pushover or I'm easy or some shit like that. And she just wanted it to be known like, yeah, I'm not like, I don't do 50-50 with men. Right? Cool. Her prerogative. I didn't take any disrespect from it. I don't think Travis did, whatever. But y'all all heard what Cam said. Y'all heard what May said. They tried to shit on her. They tried to sun her for that shit, right? So to speak. And Cam said, and I quote, I don't care about your exterior. It's about who you are on the inside. You're ugly on the inside, right? Something along those lines. What is the difference between a man, when a man is asked what makes you top tier, and then the man replies with all of these superficial things? Oh, I'm tall and I make a lot of money. What is the difference? Why? I'm sure he was saying the same. Like all of these dudes are the same guys. That's what I'm saying. Like they really are. Like him, Mace, Cam, like the dudes that talk like they all say the same stuff. They all will agree with each other about Kayla. But when it comes to this dude, he's like, well, I'm a top tier man because of all of these superficial things. Kayla just said, I don't go 50-50 with a man. That's my right. And then she said, do I look like a woman that goes 50-50 with the man? That could mean a lot of stuff. That could mean a lot of stuff. She could have meant physically. She also could have just meant like how she carries herself. Do I look like the type of woman that would go 50-50 with the man based on how I carry myself? She could have meant it in many ways, but they took it as she was acknowledging that she's actually very attractive, which she is very attractive. So I didn't understand why that was a problem. But I don't think that Kayla was saying that based on her attraction alone. I think she was saying it because later on, if you listen to what she was saying in the interview, she was like, yeah, I'm educated. And she started saying all of these things, these accomplishments that she has. She was saying like, look at the type of woman that I am. Look at the type of person that I am, right? This dude is saying the complete opposite. He's like, yeah, I'm tall and I make over 6 feet. Like, he's saying the most shallow shit ever. And men are like, yep, that's what makes him a top tier dude. Because that's what men aspire. Like, men think once you make a certain amount of money, then you're a top tier guy. Don't let you be tall. Can't nobody tell you shit. That's what most men think. I'm here to tell everybody that shit is stupid on either side. On either side. Thinking that you're worth this or you're worth that based on your physical attractiveness is wild, or how much money you make is wilder, right? I was born with this face. I was born with my cheekbones. I was born with my big ass ears. I was born with my, you know what I mean? Like I was born with a pointy chin. Like I was born with this shit. I was born and I became 6 feet. I didn't do anything to be 6 foot. I didn't do anything for this shit. You know what I mean? I did have to work and make money, but I could be proud of that on my own. I could take some pride in that on my own, but I would never act like that is something that makes me a better person than somebody else. There are plenty of people who make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 who are actually better people, who are worth their weight in gold, who go around helping people out in the community. Right? That'd be crazy for me to snub my nose at those people and be like, well, I'm high caliber and you ain't shit. Like, no, bro. That's wild. That's wild. This is just crazy. The hypocrisy is wild in all of this to me.
Ideal for
anybody,
you,
right? We're speaking about me. He asked me for my opinion and what my thought was, and that's what I'm giving, just like you, right? If we're speaking anecdotally. The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier.
I don't want to control my woman. I want to free my woman. I want my woman to be as free as she possibly can be when she's with me, because the world is very restrictive when it comes to women. So my goal is to make my wife feel as free as possible. I don't want to even lead her necessarily. I want to let her, she can do it on her own, right? She's smart. She's intelligent, like on her own. She's independent. I want to, you know what I mean? Like I want to kind of like come through and knock everything to the side so she can like walk on the path. You know what I mean? Like, so there's nothing on the path. I want to make a path for her, right? Like, I don't even want to lead her. Like y'all, like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all got to get out of that lead and all of that shit. We got to retire that lingo when we talk about relationships, leadership and all of that shit. Fuck out of here.
Man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself.
Facts.
A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man
realizes his humanity and sees it in other people. He recognizes his own humanity and he sees it. He projects his own humanity onto everybody else. Right? That way he sees everybody as a human because he sees himself as a human. That's a top tier man. That's a top tier person, by the way. Not a man or a woman. That's a top tier person.
Is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dreams.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. So at the end of the day,
he didn't have nothing for her. That was just womanese talk. He trying to clown her because she humbled him. Because she humbled him because he a cornball. Disgusting.
All that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. So at the end of the day, what is that?
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids, but obviously, there's that.
Cook that nigga. Go back. She said she called that nigga sassy without saying it.
And in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. So at the end of the day, what is that?
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids, but
obviously,
there's that.
what was that?
There you have it. He said what he said. He said it's stupid shit. She gave an eloquent explanation as to what she thinks is a top tier man, and all he can come back with is that's womanese. And then the dudes are like fucking high schoolers. I'd have looked at them niggas like, what the fuck is y'all laughing? I actually would have said, what are y'all laughing at? Like, what was funny about that? How was that funny? I like a good joke as much as the next man. I want to kiki with everybody else. Don't get me wrong, but why was that funny? Explain it to me. Break it down. What was the punchline? Womanese? Corny. Mad corny. But she said it right at the end. She said, I don't know any woman that desires a 6'4" man with braids. Now, she was clowning him, but she was also just saying, like, I don't know any woman that's out here like, yeah, my man got to be 6'4", make 6 figures like that. Like, once again, people get preferences mixed up with, like, I don't know what the word is. There is a word for it, but like, I made this analogy before, but like, I prefer to live in LeBron James's mansion. I prefer to live in LeBron James's mansion, right? I prefer that. That is a preference of mine. I prefer to live in his neighborhood. I prefer to live in his mansion. But I'm also very content with the house that I live in. You know what I'm saying? And I think people confuse the two, and they act like because you would, like, who wouldn't want to live in LeBron James' mansion, right? Or have access to something like that. Like, they think like, if you're not like shunning that, then if you don't get that, then you're going to be disappointed or something like that. Or by trying to make it seem like, oh, well, you prefer to live in LeBron James's mansion, so you must not be happy with the mansion, with the house you're living in now. And that's just not true. Same thing goes for people. Like, a woman could, or a man, but in this particular case, a woman could say, I love 6'4" niggas that make 6 figures. They can say that. That's perfectly okay. I expect most women actually would prefer that man physically and economically on paper. Don't get me wrong. But all that other stuff has to go into it as well. The gray area got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to really get into the minutia, right? So now if you ask the woman, what matters more to you? A generous man or a wealthy man? If you can have a stingy wealthy man or a generous economically viable man, which one would you choose? My guess is the vast majority of women would choose the generous, economically viable man, because I don't want to say a broke man, right? Can't be below, you know what I mean? It got to, economically viable. Whatever that means in your neighborhood, whatever that means in your country, whatever the case may be, that's all I'm saying. So a man that can pay his own rent, has health insurance, 401k, could go on a couple vacations a year, eats decently, drives a working vehicle, right? Ain't got to be nothing fancy. You know what I mean? An economically viable man, right, who is ascending, by the way, not stagnant in pay, but ascending. If she can have that man versus LeBron James, but stingy as fuck and abusive, who would she choose? I think most women would choose the economically viable, generous man. That's my guess. That's what I'm saying. But if you ask them, a woman on paper, would you rather date a nigga that's 6'9", worth $1 billion? Is that, hell yeah, I want that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not, and that's the how men try to always frame this shit. They try to act like because women like that at all, oh, see, that's what y'all really like. It's like, nah, bro, that's not what the fuck is going on here. And they know better than that. And they know better than that. That's what I'm saying. You could want to be with I don't know, fucking Mariah Carey. You could want to be with Beyonce, right? What man doesn't want to be with Beyonce? What man doesn't want to be with Mariah Carey? Whatever, right? Name the woman, name the attractive woman, right? What man don't want to be with Tim's? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You keep going. There's a bunch of them. But are you completely happy and not even beyond happy? But are you not? Because a lot of y'all ain't happy no matter what. But I'm lucky as fuck to be with the woman that I have. Extremely lucky, extremely fortunate. No matter if in another world, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Beyonce, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's stupid as fuck. That's just so dumb. Like, there's plenty of dudes that my wife would be like, hell yeah, that nigga he's more attractive than my husband. You know what I mean? Like, there are dudes that are nicer than me. There are dudes that are more successful than me. There are dudes who have better emotional awareness than I do. Like, all types of stuff. All types of stuff. That's fine. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't diminish my relationship with her. I don't think that she thinks lesser of me or anything like that. Less of me. You know what I'm saying? Like she loved me down. And I love her. Like this whole, all these talking points, for men, they're just circular. They don't make any sense. They run into a dead end every single time. And they expose the hypocrisy of men time and time and time again.